Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Behind the Building podcast. Today we have Seth Morin, Cinnabot. How are you doing today, Seth?
I'm great, man. Thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for jumping on with us. Go ahead. What we like to do at the beginning of every episode is just kind of run through, what your role is with the organization, kind of like a day to day look, and what kind of led you to getting into that career.
Yeah, cool. So again, thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. I am a regional sales manager for Centobot, so I cover New England for them. My job is mainly to drive sales through distribution. But I'm also cold calling my own leads as well to feed to distribution. So just to right now our company is still kind of young, so we're in that educational phase. So just getting in front of people, getting in front of facilities leaders and showing them the technology and proving it can do what we say it can do. As I mentioned, before we started, our industry was really overpromised and underdelivered for a long time. So we're kind of playing catch up in that regards, re-educating people. And so that's pretty much what my job is to help support the sales guys that are with distribution and also to drive business to drive business opportunities to them and grow the brand here in the region.
hmm Yeah. How did you get into like robotics and the industry that you're in?
Yeah, so in 2019 I kind of came to the janitorial and industrial supply side of the business to this industry. We did PPE and like caps and gowns and stuff. And we weren't mind readers or anything, but in 2019 we decided to order like containers of PPE. And if you remember that time, it was pandemic hit. We just got really lucky with that. So we were successful the first couple of years doing that, and we kind of wanted to expand the business. And so, we looked around and decided to get into automated equipment. And
Mhm.
then I just did a deep dive. We had a really small business at the time. It was me and like a couple other people. So we did our research and basically we were like a hybrid, like manufacturer reps for a couple different lines slash distribution because we did sell directly to end users. So a lot of our customers we were already working with, but it was a lot of like, finding new business as well. So, and then I came to Cenobots in March. This opportunity came about, and I could have stayed at the company that I was with forever. I was super comfortable there. I really liked the owner. Had a lot of flexibility. This opportunity came, kind of fell on my lap, and I really liked the owner, Michael, a lot, and I liked the technology a lot. I thought it was really cool. So, yeah, here I am at Cenobots now.
Awesome. Yeah.
So, how do you? We talked a little bit beforehand, but I want to hear directly from you for the listeners. So, how exactly does Cinnabot's help facilities leaders and businesses?
Yeah, so we do automated floor cleaning equipment. It's just really smart technology. Kind of takes out. Right now, facilities are if they're still using a mop and bucket, that's really outdated. But if they're using like an auto scrubber, they're having to walk behind it or ride on it. And so if you talk about these really big facilities, you're talking 4, 6, hours of a skilled employee behind a machine. Basically what we do is our machines automate that process. They go out and do the floor work while the employee gets to go do what other things that they're good at, where their time could be a lot more valuable.
hmm
That's interesting. So, does it when you set the machine up, do you have to map the building or anything, or is it how does that work?
Yeah, so we mapped the building. So on our particular machines, we use a 3D lidar with an NVIDIA processing chip. So the 3D lidar has 96 laser beams going in every direction, 500 feet in every direction. It can read the walls. It can read what's along it can tell you what's a movable object. And basically the mapping, like a table or a chair, say in like a cafeteria at a school, they have the tables out during the day. And then at night, the end of the day, they move the tables. The machine can actually go into the room at any point and determine, hey, that table's not, it was there earlier. It's not there. Let me go clean that. So it's pretty cool. The mapping isn't too detailed. You literally just walk up one end, down the other. You don't have to get in every single nook and cranny. They just walk the machine and those lasers are going out reading the room.
That's incredible. Yeah. I know, when a couple years ago, and I was at my last job, I sold some of these, types of robots, and even then it was a lot far behind, I think, than what you're describing now. Which is incredible to see. I mean, that's what we see with every piece of technology, right? Like every time I get a new phone, even, it's like the things you can do with it are insane. So it's great that you guys found, the right technology to market over here, and continue to progress, because that's what all these facilities and operations guys are looking for, right? Is to make things more effective, safer, and just be more efficient with your time, right? So that's awesome. What does when you're doing like a demo of one of these, like what are some of the things that you touch on, as far as like what's most important to know about these robots?
So at Cenobots, where I'll just speak to that because that's what I know. We're a software company first, and we build really good equipment around our software. Whereas a lot of these other companies that have automated machines, they were an equipment company for a long time, and now they're trying to put software into the equipment they build, and it doesn't end up working out the same for them. We're probably like 2 years, they say 18 to 24 months ahead of everybody else on the market. We're the only one that's using the NVIDIA processing chip. Just the software in it is what really makes it much different. And then the true autonomy of it too. Our equipment has workstations with them. So the machine knows when it's running low on water, knows when it needs to empty itself. It goes up to the workstation and empties the dirty water, fills the clean water, charges itself, puts the chemicals in it and dilutes it, whatever the ratio is. So it's really hands off. When you want true autonomy in your facility, you want to have, a machine go out that sweeps and vacuums, and then you want to have a floor scrubber come behind it. If you just sent the floor scrubber out without sweeping, things would drag and get caught into the squeegee. And so to really have true autonomy, you send the sweeper vacuum machine out first, send the scrubber behind it, and then that covers 98% of your floors. Nobody has to interact with it. The machine will take care of your floors, which is a big deal. When you talk about doing floors, you're saving, I think the average, I looked it up really quick, and the number it gave me was like 1,400 hours a year. Your average like hospital will spend cleaning if you can get that 1,400 hours back and invested into other parts of your building, that's huge. That's putting labor hours back into, things that get missed, like the glass, the handles, the things that, the floors are the first thing you see when you walk into a facility, and people are going to give their impression on if this facility is clean or dirty based on like how clean the floors are, right? If you walk in, the floors are disgusting, you're going to be like, wow, this place is filthy. But if you walk in and see nice shiny floors, your automatic impression is going to be, hey, this place is probably clean. So I think it's a really undervalued and important part to be able to automate that process.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
So how did my fault. Um, so you touched on some of the most important points of the machine and kind of what sets yourself apart. Where do you see the role in new technology coming into play with your industry? Like AI is huge right now, and manufacturing of machines like this. What do you think might change, or what have you seen that already has changed in the last few years?
I would say like the use of just the data involved in it. Um, the machines have advanced AI in them, and they are constantly finding the most efficient way to do the building. So the first time, you bring a machine in is going to be the longest time it takes to do those floors. So the technology's there where they're already constantly improving. As far as like what's next, man, I don't know. It happens so quick. I mean,
Yeah.
I have some ideas, but I'm like scared to say them, put that out in the universe. But
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I
but
point.
yeah, who knows? 5 years, we're gonna be
Yeah.
looking at a different world.
Yeah. No, for sure. So I know one of the questions you probably hear a lot of, and I'd like to kind of get it out there is, I'm sure you probably hear when you bring this into a facility, like, wouldn't this replace my job or wouldn't this replace one of my employees? What would you kind of answer to that?
So yeah, that's like the number one thing I hear a lot is like it's gonna replace my job. But like I mentioned, there's so many other things that need to get done that don't get done when people are busy doing sitting on a machine for 6 hours. There's a list. You guys are talking to facility managers all the time. You know, there's lists of things that these guys have to do that they're just under the gun for and they don't get to. So it just frees up those hours. Even if you're only doing your floors twice a week and it takes 6 hours, you're getting 12 hours back to go work on stuff that these guys are skilled in too. It doesn't take a lot of skill to drive a machine around, or push an auto scrubber around. But there's a ton of other stuff that these guys could, their labor's, I mean, their skill set is needed. So yeah.
Yeah. Good.
I think you raise a great point, and that's kind of my mentality with it too, because we utilize AI a lot in our business, and it's really just about like gaining the time from the tasks that you don't necessarily have to do. Like you talked about how an auto scrubber might not be the most skilled thing, most skilled job necessary, right? But there's other things that they could be spending their time on, and we see the same thing, like uh, we've created pricing tools that really help speed up our sales guys' efficiency so they can go network or try to generate new business or focus their time on follow-ups, things like that. So I think it's about buying back your own time really and saving yourself so you can get to the other things that aren't necessarily more important but need more skills, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's not gonna affect like jobs like that. Maybe you won't have to hire as many people to do the tasks, but what I see more of is aging out. Like custodians are aging out, open recs already that they can't fill. It's not like a job people necessarily run out of their way to, try to apply for. Especially you're seeing it more and more now. At least I am. And there has to be an answer to that. And this is also like we're also offering a different operation. It's not going to be the same schedule because nobody has to sit there and watch the machines. So new things can come up, and I think it opens up a lot for opportunity, not only financially but for like cleanliness of the facility overall.
Which I think leads to growth, right? Like when you can open up time for these people to do more things, then you're offering growth internally as well, where they can prove themselves on more skilled tasks and move up the ladder, or just even the company as a whole is you're giving yourself a better image, right? Because you're able to clean more, which gives you a better image of people coming in, clients coming in, seeing, oh, well, your facility is great. I think of like manufacturing or big warehouses is, you want to sell more, you want to get more clients in the doors is to have the appearance look like great, not just mediocre because we can't hire enough people, but
Yeah.
opening those people up to do more. Yeah.
And honestly, too, when people see that your facility is implementing new technology like that, like I was at a college the other day and we had the machine running around and there was a tour going on with a group of like parents and students and they all stopped and were taking pictures of the machine and looking at the machine. And it's like when people see that you are implementing new technology like this into your facility, they look at you as like, wow, this place is cutting edge. Like these
Mhm.
guys know what's going on. They have the best of the best going on in their school, or in their hospital or wherever the case may be. Some schools will wrap their logo on the machine. And during sporting events, they'll have it going around and playing the theme song, their fight song. So yeah, it's cool. People love it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I went to a manufacturing facility once, and they didn't have robots like that, but they had forklifts that drove themselves. And I thought the same thing. I was like, "Oh, these guys must be incredible at everything else." I mean, it's just a piece of technology that they bought from someone. But in my head, I was like, "These guys are next level." So it definitely changes your mindset for sure.
yep.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Stop and Shop might be the grocery store that has a robot. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
They have them for, like, inventory control. So, like,
Really?
Yeah,
they'll
that's
be
great.
scanning the shelves and, like, seeing what's low on inventory. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get into grocery stores. There's a big chain that just bought, hundreds of these units. Well, they're all gonna get it. Anybody that has a lot of floor that needs to be clean,
Mhm,
it's just, it's a no-brainer, it's just having to get to that point of like, "Hey, we're gonna change the way we do things."
mhm,
Um, Things are gonna change a little bit. And it's hard to, like, wrap your head around having to spend that money up front, even though you're gonna save it in the long run. In 6 to 8 months, you start seeing your return, um, with this stuff. So yeah, like I said in the beginning, it's about educating. That's all,
mhm.
showing it. Because you can show videos of these machines all day, but when you put it in front of people, they really get it a lot more. It's like, oh wow, this thing actually does a good job.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the ROI piece in 6 to 8 months, which makes sense to me and seems reasonable. Do you want to talk about the return on investment, maybe some stats that you're seeing or kind of what you
Yeah.
well,
So specific numbers, I can't really get into that because it's going to vary based on
hmm,
location, right? And
Mhm,
what they're paying their guys. But what it does give is it gives you consistency. It gives you control over that. There's no vacation time. There's no sick time. Nobody's quitting. I heard a statistic a few months ago that from we'll just say a big manufacturing warehouse around here, where they're hiring their custodial position 120%. So
mhm,
every 14 months or whatever that comes out to, they're having to rehire somebody for that position. And there's a lot of hidden costs involved in having to go out and find somebody and onboard them and insurance and then people can go on FMLA and they're still having to pay into that without someone being there. When you're getting automated machines, when you're getting this automation into your facilities, you're really investing in consistency and knowing that the machines are going to do their job. They can only do the floors. They're not going to hop on the windows and start cleaning windows and
mhm.
doorknobs, and they're just doing the floors, but you get all that time back. So I think that's really just walking people through that and getting them to understand. Like I said earlier, it's just about educating.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think people, at least from what I've seen, they don't really think about the things that aren't talked about as much. When they think of ROI, it's like, well, I spend this much money on an employee and I would spend this much on a robot. But like you're right. Like, the robot's not going to call in the day of and say, hey, I'm not feeling well and I can't come in today, so I can't clean the floor. It's just going to go and do it, right? So I think that's an important part to note, is that no sick days, no PTO, no insurance. You pay for it, and it's the investment that's going to wake up every day, and do it. You know.
Let's just say you pay somebody to clean the floors. That position pays all in your all in costs. It's probably around 70 grand for the year, right?
Hmm.
For two machines, your price is around 70 grand, but you're only paying that cost once. For an employee, you're paying that year after year. The life cycle on a machine is about 10 to 12 years. So years 2 through 12, you're not having to pay that 70 grand.
Hmm.
And it's going back into your facility or back into your pocket, or whoever is in charge of the finance decides where that money goes. But that's a significant amount of money
Hmm.
for any business to be saving. So, yes, there's an upfront initial cost, but years 2 through 10, 2 through 12, and really that 10, 12 year mark, what's usually failing around those years is the battery. And you can put a new battery you know,
Hmm.
in the machine and you know,
Yeah. No, that's great. I even thought, like, when you were talking too, it's like, well, you don't really even have to manage this, right? So, it's so autonomous that you don't have to worry about spending your own time making sure that they're hitting their, KPIs, or,
mm,
and you said there's a good data behind it, so you could see how long it
right,
takes. You can just
yeah,
you look at a report quick. You don't have to talk to somebody and spend even just an hour a meeting a week being like, hey, what'd you get done? How did it go? That kind of stuff.
right. Not only is there like a weekly report or a daily report, whatever you want, to be sent out, but you have access to it on your phone.
Mm,
So you don't even need to be in the facility. If there's a spill and someone calls and says, "Hey, we got a spill over here and whatever." Okay, no problem. Go open the app and send the machine over to clean it up.
that's
Yeah,
You
there's
know,
great.
you don't even have to be on site to do that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's yeah, it's incredible. And you know, like as far as like maintenance goes, people bring up keeping the machines running a lot. Well, 90% of the issues that we run into are cloud-based solutions. So our tech, our engineer can connect to the machine from wherever they are and remedy the situation. Now, if it's something like, you know, a motor or, you know, they can also diagnose it. So they're not going to be able to fix it, but you can at least diagnose it and explain somebody how to fix the problem. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think those points are all great and the ROI and everything, but the big word that you mentioned that I think is huge is consistency. Like you don't have to worry about Tom was supposed to do the floors today and he's out sick, so now we have to take someone off what they were doing to go do those, or there's vacations and things like that. You know that at a set time or whatever, that machine is going to go out and do a really good job cleaning the floors. And as a facilities manager, I would imagine that's kind of a big load off your head that you don't have to think about. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. To your point too, like you mentioned earlier, these guys are running. I know we work with a few facilities managers that are even when we go on roof inspections with them, they're like getting 3 calls and this guy just radioed, oh, I gotta give me a minute, I gotta go head onto this, make sure these guys are good. So to even take one of those things off their plate, I know would ease up a lot of their worries for sure.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. So kind of going into strategy and the future, we'd like to talk a little bit. We kind of already talked about AI. What do you see as the future of these robots? Not in sense of, what's coming out, but where do you guys see yourself moving into? What industries? What are you looking to get into and really help out?
Yeah, so I think these machines are gonna be everywhere, you
Mhm.
know, in the next 5 years. I mean, I don't think it's just gonna be Cenobots. I think other companies are gonna emerge, and I think they're just I just think it's a no-brainer. So we're in mostly, like, hospitals, universities, schools, warehouses, manufacturing plants. We're really starting to get more into we just came out with an industrial sweeper, so like the bigger stuff. This machine can pick up like soda cans and, you know, pieces of wood. But yeah, we know how quick technology happens. I think it's going to be I don't know, man, it's exciting. I know that. I
Yeah.
mean, don't you think there's going to be a robot that can roof soon?
Oh, probably.
I've seen prototypes. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, you see the videos. I don't know if it's real or not with the machine up there shingling. Who knows what they're gonna come out with? It's always changing, but I think it's an exciting time for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you mentioned it briefly about the sweeper. So you have something that can sweep up debris. Basically, you have one that can walk like tile floors or whatever. Do you have a vacuum robot or any other products?
Yeah, so our vacuum sweeper actually has a 13-hour idle runtime.
Wow.
Which is crazy. It can actually it will actually go out and vacuum and sweep for 8 hours. So, like, 8 hours of nonstop. If you think of, like, these huge high rises in Boston, we just set one up. They have 24 floors in the building, and the machine can call the elevator. So it'll just go to the elevator when it wants to go to the next floor, keep doing its thing, go to the next, you know? And it's incredible. So yeah, just nonstop efficiency. You know, the guy literally said to me, "He's like, our workers are only here for 8 hours, so I mean, we only need it to go 8 hours.
Yeah.
We'll run for you know, and it knows when it needs to go back and charge itself back up. So it'll go do that, go back to where it's left off, finish the task. It's like true autonomy. You don't have to, you
Yeah.
know, worry about it.
Huh. Yeah, that was actually one of my thoughts too when you were talking was like, well, what about like a large office that has multiple floors? That's crazy. It can call the elevator.
Yeah, it connects right we can connect right into it's really the hardest part is getting in touch with the elevator company, really. Because
Yeah.
for us, it's super easy. We just, you know, connect into their API, do what we have to do, and that's it. But we need, in order to get access to that, we need the elevator company. So that's usually what takes the longest part.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's cool. So I know some buildings will put like a workstation on, every fifth floor, every fourth floor. So as the machine's going up, if it needs to recharge, it does its thing and keeps going. And, somebody asked me the other day too, like if, how we wrap the machines, uh, if they could wrap like advertisement on the machine. So I mean, there's creative ways to pay for the machines too.
yeah.
So yeah.
Well, it's definitely eye-catching. If I saw an elevator I mean, if I saw a bot in the elevator with me or I saw one go on, I'd be looking at it. So if there was an ad on it, I'd probably, you'd get my eyesight on it at least.
Yeah.
You'd
Yeah.
probably take a picture of it too and post it on Instagram or something.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Sure. Yeah. People see him and follow him around and take pictures and videos and like can't believe what's really surprising to people is like how well it does in large groups of people, right?
Mm.
Because a lot of machines, if you've seen them, they'll like freeze up in groups of people, because it's just the software is not there yet. But on our machines, we do really well in crowds. And if there's people in front of the machine and it can't get by, it'll say, "Can you please move? I'm trying to clean," or something to that effect. You
Yeah.
can have the machine say whatever you want. And when they hear it in like a British accent behind, they're like, "Whoa, whoa,
What's going
this
on?
thing's like trying to get by." Yeah.
Man, yeah, that's great. Yeah, awesome. We'll start to close it up now, but one thing we always ask, every guest that we have on here is, if someone was a part of your team, or a team within your organization, what's one thing that they would know you guys for? So like whether it's a characteristic or just something personal or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Us as a company or me as an individual, I guess would be
Yeah,
the way
either
you're
one or
asking.
both, whatever you
Yeah.
want to answer.
I
Yeah,
mean, for me, I just try to be a team player to whoever, whatever is needed, I'm willing to, step in and do it. Um, like the cold calling the leads, it's not the most glamorous job, but whatever needs to get done to questions that guys have. We have like a running group chat. I try to be as responsive as I can, and be there for people, because that's what people really want. At the end of the day, they don't want to feel like you're just there to sell them something. I'm not really there to sell. I'm there to educate. I'm there to show the equipment, but I'm there to like also, try to level with people at a human level and just be a real person. The machines will sell themselves. I mean, the technology is going to sell itself. They're incredible. So, I think just people would, if they were with me for a day, they would just say, "Yeah, this guy's willing to do whatever's necessary." So,
yeah. I think that's an important part, especially I think for like facilities and operations guys to hear, right? Because they probably get, hundreds of calls from vendors saying that their product's the best. But what they really care about is if they can trust you and if they know that you're gonna, go the extra mile for them and, that they actually and I think that also that they just enjoy talking to you, right? I think
Mhm.
like that's what I found in doing sales like that too is do I trust you and do I like you? As a person, right? Like we all know if we have anybody in our house telling us anything, if they're kind of a jerk or they won't, they don't really want to do their job or help out their team, it's like, well, why would I want to talk to you?
or they're just trying to get the money out of me, and like that's what I can't stand when when I usually go reach out for something, I know I'm gonna buy it anyway. But it's like, who am I gonna buy it from? Is this guy just trying to take the money out of my pocket, or um, they want to make sure that like I'm not gonna disappear when the machines arrive. I'm not going to disappear. And then they're going to have this $30,000 piece of equipment sitting there that's not going to work. And I'm not going to last too long in this industry if that's what I do. I'm still in the phase of kind of building my reputation, but like
Mhm.
I want people to know like, no, like in order for me to be successful, we need to be successful. So like I want these machines to get implemented into facilities that are having a lot of success with them, because then that's just going to lead to more success for me, for the customer, for everybody involved. So,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was very well said. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff, any final questions? Anything?
No, I'm good. Yeah, this was a lot of fun, and I think the technology is super cool, and I would definitely, if I had an office space or manufacturing plant or something that made sense for it, I would absolutely consider one for sure.
Yeah. When we blow up and we get a huge facility,
Yeah.
we'll call you.
Yeah,
You
no
guys
doubt.
are gonna have a huge corporate office someday with a huge warehouse and tons of supplies in it. You're gonna need a sweeper. You know where to find me.
That's
That's
the
right.
guy for sure.
Thank you
Well,
guys
awesome.
so much for having me on. I appreciate it. And
Yeah,
cool.
sounds good. Do you have any like social media or anything you'd like to throw out there? It's
Just my
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, just my LinkedIn page. I mean, I'm gonna share this anyway when it's
Yeah,
done. Well,
for sure.
I like to post videos of like what I'm doing on LinkedIn. I think it's important for people to see that, and it's good for the brand. We're building a brand here, so yeah, just my LinkedIn page is Seth Morin. My mug will come up somewhere if you search it.
Nice.
We'll link it. We'll
And
link it too. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
cool,
Yeah.
awesome.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks,
Thanks,
Seth.
guys.
All right.
Yeah, have a
See ya.
great week. Have a good fourth.
Hey,
You
you
too.
too, man.
Yep, thanks.